Hello and welcome back for the second part of the chapter from the beginning of time. What are the advantages of bipedalism is the first question that we'll be seeing today. So, bipedalism enabled hands to be freed for carrying infants or objects. As hands were freed, we can see that hands were used more and more. Upright walking gradually became more efficient. Apart from the advantage of freeing hands for various uses, far less energy is consumed while walking. However, the advantage in terms of saving energy is reserved while running. There is indirect evidence of bipedalism as early as 3.6 million years ago. The fossil hominid footprint was found at Latoli, Tanzania, Hadar, Ethiopia, and this provided direct evidence of bipedalism. So now let us move on with a new topic, and this topic has got a question. That is, when did the phase of glaciation came into being? The phase of glaciation or the ice age began at around 2.5 million years ago. Due to glaciation, there was reduction in temperature as well as rainfall. And because of this, grassland areas expanded and forests were reduced. Now, because of glaciation, there will be certain changes in the temperature. We can easily see that large parts of the earth were covered with snow, which brought major changes in climate as well as vegetation. And because of this glaciation, there was a gradual extinction of the early forms of Australopithecus that were adapted to forest, but they were replaced by a better species who were better adapted to drier conditions. So among these new species were the earliest representatives of the genus Homo. So now let us move on to our new topic, and the new topic begins with a question, that is, what is meant by Homo? Into which classes have they been divided? Now the word Homo is derived from a Latin word which means man. So the scientists have divided Homo into several species. The names assigned to these species are derived from their typical characteristics. So fossils are classified as: number 1, Homo habilis, the tool maker; number 2, Homo erectus or erectus, the upright man; and number 3, the Homo sapiens, the wise or thinking man. So from this part we will come to know that the fossils of Homo habilis have been discovered at Omo in Ethiopia and at Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, and the earliest fossils of the Homo erectus have been found both in Africa and Asia. Now let us see the physical differences between Australopithecus and Homo. What do these differences indicate? So if we look into the physical characteristics of both Homo and Australopithecus, we can see the following differences. First of all, their brain. If you look at the brain size, Homo have larger brain as compared to Australopithecus. And if you look at the jaw or the jaw lines, you will see that Homo have got less protruding jaws as compared to the Australopithecus, and we can see that Homos have smaller teeth as compared to Australopithecus. All these differences or physical differences indicates that Homo's larger brain shows more intelligence and a better memory. It also says that the changes in the jaws and teeth probably related to the difference in their dietary habits. I guess the previous part is clear. Now the next topic is the story of human evolution. In this part we are going to study about two models. First of all, original continuity and its arguments. So let's see what is the arguments for. According to this model, the archaic Homo sapiens in different regions evolved at different rates into modern humans. That is why there is variations in the appearance of modern humans in different parts of the world. The argument is based on the regional differences in the features of present-day human. According to supporters of these argument, these dissimilarities are due to difference between the pre-existing Homo erectus and Homo heidelbergensis population that occupied the same regions. So now let us move on to a new topic, that is the replacement models. According to this model, all older forms of humans were replaced with modern humans. There is evidence of the genetic and anatomical homogeneity of modern humans. The similarity among modern humans is because their descendants originated from a single region, that is, Africa. The evidence of the earliest fossils of modern humans is found at Omo in Ethiopia. The physical differences observed among modern humans are the result of adaptation by populations who migrated to the particular regions where they finally settled down. Now let's move on to a new topic, that is early humans' ways of obtaining food. How would early human have obtained food? That is a question that we will be discussing in this part. Early humans would have obtained food through a number of ways. This can be: number 1, gathering. It would involve collecting plant foods such as seeds, nuts, berries, fruits and tubers. Gathering was generally assumed as there is very little evidence for it. While we get a fair amount of fossils bones, but fossil plant remains are rare, so we cannot know whether it was there or not. The only other way of getting information about plant intake would be if plant remains were accidentally burnt. This process results in carbonization, and because of carbonization, the evident or the organic matter is preserved for a long span of time. So the other way of obtaining food was hunting. Hunting probably began later, about 5 lakh years ago. The earliest clear evidence for planned hunting and butchery can be found in Boxgrove, England, and in Skoningen in Germany. The other form of obtaining food was through scavenging. It is suggested that the early hominids scavenged or foraged for meat and marrow from the carcasses of the dead or deceased animal which are been killed by the other predators. It is possible that small mammals such as rodents, birds, reptiles and even insects were also eaten by early hominids. Hominids used to obtain food through fishing too, as it is evident from the discovery of fish bones at different sites. In order to obtain food, the early men deliberately chose sites for hunting. But the question is why? Why do they choose these sites for hunting? From about 35,000 years ago, there is evidence of planned hunting from some European sites. Dolní Věstonice in Czech Republic, which was near a river, was deliberately chosen by early people. Herds of migratory animals might have crossed this river during their autumn and spring migrations. That is why the choice of such sites indicates that people knew about the movement of migratory animals and also about the means of killing large numbers of animals quickly. So now let's move on to new topic: early humans from trees to caves and open air sites. The question is, how do we get the information about the lifestyle and open air residence of early men? We got the information by plotting the distribution of artifacts, thousands of flake tools and hand axes which have been excavated at Kilombe and Olgorsilier, Kenya. These finds are dated between 7 lakh and 5 lakh years ago. These tools accumulated in one place because places with abundant food resources were visited repeatedly. In such areas, people left behind traces of their activities and presence, including artifacts. The deposited artifacts would appear as patches on the landscape. The places that were less frequently visited would have fewer artifacts, which may have been scattered over the surface.